This is a very practical training. Do not watch this if you're just looking for that generic bullshit. Okay, here I put together how, first of all, how you should sound on the phone and what you should say for the client to actually engage with you, respond, and book the next step, whatever it is, a meeting in first face-to-face or a Zoom call. So watch till the end. And in the description, I will leave you scripts that you can download, exactly the same that I'm using, so you can start applying this knowledge. And by the way, if you just stumble on this video, Olga Sinenko, real estate sales training with my own 10 years sales experience here in Dubai. So I actually don't just talk things. I've been doing them myself, and this is how I make money. So if you want to have more content on the training and high income skills in your recommendation, don't forget to subscribe or maybe share this video with your colleagues. What if they will benefit from that as well, the same as you? And by the way, you can leave the comments on maybe the topics or kind of challenges that you have in your communication with the client, so I can custom make a video for your request. Yeah, see you in the next one. The tone at the beginning of your call, we're talking about social media leads, has to be curious tone, the same as I did. Looks like you responded to one of the ads and asked us to call you back, possibly looking for help with investing in XYZ, possibly looking for help. Neutral. So the main is to neutralize your tone. Instead of saying, you requested, you are interested to invest, make it neutral. You're possibly looking to invest. It's remove the sales resistance. You're looking to buy, you're looking to invest. They are not yet. Possibly looking, potentially interested. That's a different thing. Then you can find the beautiful question, which I like so much. When you see the ad, like beside the crazy computer graphic of Dubai, what was about the ad that attracted your attention? Boom. We're going to get back to the video in a second. There is a course, and I created it for those who still feel that the cold calling skills, the communication and closing skills over the phone are not there yet. I have a lot of messages on how to, and I put everything as a step-by-step process in a course where I teach you how to become a money-making machine and start closing this month and consistently for the course of your blowing the mind career in Dubai real estate. Let's jump to the video, and description of the course is in the description of this video. Link to the course, not the description. So one more time, I will repeat my favorite question. Well, when you saw the ad, what was, besides the crazy computer graphics, what was about the ad that attracted your attention? What I'm doing right now. He was having the most intent when he was sitting on the white stone. The highest intent and curiosity was back then. How I can bring him back emotionally to the same state? I'm asking this question. What was about the ad that attracted your attention to respond? Guys, if he's going to tell you, I don't remember the ad, it's still fine because you don't care about the ad. Some agents are like, no, but that was the ad with this tower. And no. It's not about that. I said, okay, makes sense. And what was your like overall goal with this investment? Ask this question instead. Are you looking for investment, primary residency, home for yourself? What was your overall goal? It gives him an opportunity to talk more and tell you potentially about the problems that he has. I'll give you a bit of a glimpse of what might be the reason he is looking to invest, right? Then my favorite, then you have kind of a call opener or structuring the agenda is this first call is pretty basic. It's more for us to understand what you're currently looking for in terms of, criteria of budget, allocation, just to see what we can offer you. And by the end of the call, if you see that whatever we have might make sense, we can discuss possible next step and different options that we have for our investors. Would that be useful if I will do that? Yeah. This first call is pretty basic. Again, decreasing the resistance, removing the importance, and you're telling him that you're going to ask him a question and you're asking for his commitment. Would that be useful if I will do that? Yeah? Again, all of the type of the pushbacks that are happening, call opener is here, call frame, this call is very basic. If the client is telling me, or just send me some option, or just like, why are you asking this question and all of this. So sorry, didn't mean to confuse you. Oh, so sorry, didn't mean to upset you. And then if there, well, okay, it's certainly not me trying to sell you anything. It's just for us to understand which out of the project that we have going to be the best fit for you. So will you be open to have a conversation around that? There are going to be people who are absolutely not manageable, guys, but we cannot sell to almost 80% of leads. That's the truth, right? Maybe that's a bad time. Maybe you have to call them in 2-3 days. That's why I'm asking, did I get you in a bad time? You remember how I said, did I get you in a bad time? Why am I asking this way? Why I'm not asking, is it a good time to talk? What's the difference, right? There is a difference. Because on the call with a stranger, we always want to say no, right? No. So, did I get you in a bad time? No. Okay, it's a good time then. Please don't use that, oh, can I spare you a minute? Can you give me 5 minutes? No, it puts you in a position of lower status. Yeah? That's why it looks like you responded to one of the ads and asked us to call you back, possibly looking for help. You're looking for help, I'm here helping you. Yeah? Or it's like this, right? Okay. I hope you understand we just don't have 1 or 2 projects available. We have a lot of developers in our database. So for me to find the right option, we need to understand that your requirements. Like for example, and you jump into the question. It's not ... It's you jump into a question. You start qualifying them. Guys, one more thing. Do not ever, if you need to say something and pitch a little bit, it's fine. It's asking, oh, tell me about the areas. Well, it really depends. We have this area XYZ in this area ABC, but there is a good potential in the area B. But for you specifically, what are you looking for? Everything you say, you end with a question. Because who is leading the conversation? The one who is answering questions, the one who is asking? Yeah. That's why there's a big, propaganda. It's like, oh, but Olga, this client was asking me like a buying signal questions. And I was answering. I was giving him all the information. He's like, okay, which buying signal question is it? Well, it doesn't mean that he wants to buy. No. He's like, he was asking how much. Doesn't mean that he wants to buy. Yeah? So, guys, I'm not going to go through all of that. But please, I put some links to my YouTube channel videos here. Some of them. It should be here, guys. I will double check. I will add more links. I think some of it is missing. This is a secondary market script. I will go quickly brush through that in terms of you finding the listings, right? It's a more complicated process. First of all, you have to understand regarding the script, you're going to have a lot of rejection because these people are not actually opt to anything. Right? Your goal is to sound different and to give them opportunity to tell you no. That's why you're asking it. It's like, hi, I'm Olga, I'm an open realtor. Not sure if it's the right time, but I was hoping to ask you something really quick. And then you decide, should we continue this conversation or not? Fair enough? You're going to say no? You're like, okay, sorry, boom. You cannot push through. What it does to people, when we give them an illusion of control, I was hoping to ask you something really quick, and then you decide, should we continue this conversation or not? I'm giving you illusion of control. What I'm creating in his mind, is he curious now? Is he curious? Which question I want to ask? Right? Why is someone is saying, I have this question for you, but I'm not sure. Should I ask it or should I not? How do you feel immediately? What? Tell me. What happened? Tell me, right? Guys, so you play a little bit more on that. That's why I was digging your feet into the human behavior today. So hopefully you will see how a bit of a tweak in communication strategies will help you. Again, do you still own the property by any chance? Do you still own the property? Because you have to determine that. Then I'm calling it a hunting script. Yeah, hunting is someone who is going for the hunt. And then it's easier script to start with for someone who doesn't yet have a good experience in cold calling specifically. This is where you have to still pretend that you have a client. By you pretending you don't have it. That's why you have to drop the conversation about the client as soon as possible. So I'm calling because I have a pre-approved mortgage buyer who was looking to buy a property in this XYZ tower, but the deal fell through. Would you be totally against the idea of having the offer on your property if the price will make sense for you, of course? You see what I did? I'm saying, not would you sell. Would you be totally against? Well, I'm not totally against, right? So he start proving to whom? To himself and to me, he's not totally against. The idea, because I'm not asking him, are you going to sell? Would he be totally against the idea of selling the property if the price will make sense for you? Of course, so I'm taking it from him. Because what he's going to tell me, oh yeah, if the price will make sense for me. I took it already. He cannot answer me that, yeah? Cool. And then you get to there is a couple of opening, and then guys, you back into your qualification. Yeah, well, I'm more than happy to offer your property to my client, but just for me to understand, is it rented? Is there any upgrades? And you understand the property, yeah? I would say that most probably if the person is not selling, but he is okay to have a conversation with you, I would not ask for the listing on this call. Sorry, it's the same as I'm a guy, I met a girl on Tinder, on the first Tinder date. If I will advise her to come with me back to my house, to have a couple of drinks, she's probably going to tell me what? No. Why? Because she's just going to say no. She doesn't have enough of value that I delivered. But if it's going to be a second date, or I'm just going to invite her for the breakfast and then for the lunch, maybe towards the dinner, she's going to be more, yeah? And we remember what we are building. We are building a long term, that if the person is not selling, but he's not totally against, and he's like, okay, so before my call, were you actually thinking of selling, or where do you stand on that? Oh, no, I'm not selling actually. Okay, then it means that for me, I can have another call with him saying like, look, spoke to my client, got him your property, but we actually decided to buy an XYZ and ABC. So I just called to see, like, where do you stand? Like, would you be potentially considering kind of putting your property on the market at some point, or what's happening? And if he's saying no, the worst case scenario, you're telling him, it makes sense, total, I would never sell the property like yours. You can say that to him, right? Would that make sense for you if you will receive a kind of market updates from us in terms of your area, the price point from the past deals for the years or two, and the rental projection? Would that be useful if you will have this report in your email like every quarter? Yes. What's the best email for you typically? Boom. And now you get into the sequence. Make sense? A little bit more clear? Yes.
Maybe at the same time, to make it useful, we can try and make them feel that, oh, okay, you have purchased a very nice property and I see you're very happy with that. Would you like to buy something similar like this in any other development?
I would ask this instead of telling him. I would ask it. You see? Like, oh, and how long you've been owning the property, by the way? And are you 100% satisfied? Are you happy with that? And you are asking someone, are you 100% satisfied? The person going to say, well, not really. I don't like this. I don't like that. But if he's going to tell you, I'm 100% satisfied, it was like, yeah, makes sense. Would you change anything if you could? In terms of, I don't know, maybe the location, the returns that the property is giving you? What I'm doing, I'm building the gap. He's telling me, oh, I would change this. Again, he maybe never thought about it before I ask him the question. Okay, well, will that be useful if I maybe share some recent launches with you so you can see where you can, yeah? Yeah, yeah. So that's why, guys, it's the main skill that I learned from Jeremy Miner is to turn your statement into questions. So the people can answer them, and they're going to have things they're saying themselves to their own ears, and they believe it. Cool?
Open questions or closed questions?
Closed questions depends. I would not just define it as open a question as a closed question. I definitely prefer not to use ever closed questions. But does it feel like that might be an answer for you? It's a closed question, and it comes towards the end. That's why we cannot be just black and white, closed question, open question. I am giving them opportunity to talk. And it's a little bit more than just having a closed and open question. You're going to run through the questions that I gave you guys. What I advise you to do right now, choose some of them, role play with each other. Role play, yeah. It's as bad as it sounds. Role play simulation is how I learned those techniques. It was not me coming at 3 or 4 a.m. to Jeremy Minor live session and he was telling me stuff. He was watching us role play, slap you if you are doing it wrong, going away from the script. Yeah? He understands the flow, and this is how he practice and learn. This is a volume. You can train on the live people, or you can practice within your group. Yeah, I would say don't change everything at once. Take one question, start asking it, see how it lands, then take another question. But for you to learn, there is one more thing, how to learn exactly what I'm saying. Because you see, I know them, right? Yeah. I know them and I can improvise. For you, it's going to be not that easy. You're going to think, well, I ask exactly the same question, but it's not. So the simple trick that I use to learn the script, I record myself on the voice recorder on my phone, pronouncing the question. Then I pronounce it without saying it. So I will have exactly the same time then on recording to repeat the question. And then I ask another question. And how it looks like, I'm with my headphones, walking in the street, driving, or doing my exercises, and I'm asking the questions. I'm listening to myself, and I'm asking the question in the space of the silence. I'm listening to myself, and I'm asking the question. It's going to help you to memorize them way more faster. And the people are going to think you're just talking on the phone. Yeah, you're not a strange, weird person just like talking to yourself. You're talking on the phone, right?
Yeah, if you're not standing against the
I was working, doing my works, the steps in and around GLT, just doing this. Yeah, that's it. What makes you feel yeah, I'm talking on the phone. Okay, cool guys. Was that useful?